Big Ed claims that he's a black belt in Aikido, but we all know that the only things that he's a black belt in is eating McDonald's, being an incel, and not defending his fiancée Liz. This article does a good job explaining what a Yondan Aikido is. As we advance in our training, we should become more skilled in keeping our center, not losing our temper. More skilled in applying only the appropriate amount of force, more skilled in not injuring people, and more importantly, more skilled in de-escalating conflict. White belts can be the most dangerous students on the mat. They try earnestly to do a technique, sometimes trying to compensate for the lack of skill by using muscle or speed. They can be sloppy. Hey, they're just learning. And aggressive. A Yondan Aikido should show finesse and restraint, should be able to handle conflict quietly, and should be able to apply techniques and training without injuring their partner. There's that old saying, look like Tarzan, play like Jane. Well, Big Ed looks like a bowling ball and plays like an egg. I struggle to believe that he's this rank in Aikido. I know he thinks he's Steven Seagal, but he's not skilled at de-escalating situations. If anything, he's the instigator. He's the one that actually starts the conflict in the first place when it's someone trying to hold him accountable. But when it comes to a violent woman getting in his girl's face and screaming at her, intimidating her, scaring her, he's nowhere to be seen. He doesn't want to de-escalate that situation because he's scared of going up against Angela Dean.
Do not.
I'm being very calm.
Listen, if you're gonna run that mouth, you back. I don't deserve what you just said.
As we covered in our last video, Angela Dean started an argument with Liz, got in her face, started screaming at her, threatening her with physical violence. As Liz is being rushed into her hotel room by the TV crew, she says, "I'm not the one that's fighting back." While Angela storms off and says, "I never talked over that motherfucker. This is bullshit." Angela, you're a crumb. You talk over everyone. Develop some self-awareness, and even though you're 57 years old, don't talk about someone else's looks because you look at least 100.
And I was trying to stop him. That's why I splashed him and it got in her eye. I was saving her man when she should have been saving him.
How drunk is this old crow on a scale of 1 to 10? It is not Liz's responsibility to defend Ed when he's starting a fight with Kelly after Kelly just brought up that he cheated in the therapy game, which he did. Angela, you really need to take advantage of the time you're there when you have TLC paying for y'all to get therapy, because the way you think is wrong, and you can tell by how you raised a child molester and you beat up all your friends.
And then Liz gets out the pool for no reason and she turns around on me. Like, bitch, what?
When you're a failure as a partner, a friend, a mother, at some point you need to look inwards and fix the things about yourself that are broken.
Call my goddamn husband. That's what I want. Woo, it's telling me, got it.
Michael's a Trump fan, Angela's fake news. Right away, they're not the best match, right? Before we continue reviewing this trash TV show, I'd like to tell you about today's video sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a free-to-play mobile game available on Android and iOS. With Raid's amazing graphics, gameplay, and champions, it's no wonder why they're ahead of the competition. Good news, everyone! Raid Shadow Legends is increasing its roster of awesome-looking champions with a brand new rarity, Mythical. A step above legendary champions, these new mythical champions have a very special new mechanic called Metamorph that allows them to change between two different forms. And trust me, the champions' transformations are even more epic than when I transform in a gamer mode. When I'm leaned all the way back in my gamer chair, I got my gamer glasses on and my headset, I'm a different animal. I might as well be He-Man because I have the power! I know, right? My Metamorph might have been legendary, but it's nothing compared to what Raid Shadow Legends is doing with these mythical champions. Mythical champions can only be summoned from brand new red primal shards in the portal. A mythical champion's two forms both use the same artifacts, accessories, masteries, and blessing. For new players, you can get your hands on Stag Knight, one of the best epic champions around, as well as a skin for Stag Knight designed by John Tron. Just use the promo code JTSKIN before October 7th. It's as easy as that. Also, don't worry, even if you're not a new player, you can still get Stag Knight and the skin through an in-game event. Do you want a free legendary champion? If so, you should check out Sun Wukong, Raid's take on the mischievous Monkey King, coming as a free legendary champion. All you gotta do is log into Raid on 7 different days between August 22nd and October 23rd to get your hands on this awesome champion. If y'all haven't started playing Raid yet, click the link in the bio of this video or scan the QR code to get some awesome bonuses. We are talking about an epic champion Drake from the Lizardman faction and other useful things, people. I don't know about y'all, but I'm real curious what percentage of the TLC money Michael's getting monthly, because I've seen Angela travel and party a lot this past year, so I doubt it's a 50-50 split. For Liz, unfortunately, it's out of the pan into the fire because the minute she steps into her hotel room, Ed begins to gaslight her right away.
You don't defend me. You don't. And I came clean today. And I apologized.
I literally had to sit there in the jacuzzi quiet the whole time.
No, you didn't. Liz, you got what you deserved. That's what you got.
Ed, you're such a bitch, dude. What just happened to Liz was super traumatizing. How about a, hey babe, are you okay? Right away you hit her with a, you don't defend me, you never defend me, Liz. Nah, dude, as we've just seen, you don't defend her. And she doesn't need to defend you because during your argument with Kelly, you told her that she could stay out of it. It's between you and Kelly. Also, bud, it's super tweet to want your fiance's assistance during that argument with Kelly because you were the one arguing with Kelly. Kelly wasn't arguing with you. You're the one that all of a sudden told him that you're a master of the martial arts and Aikido, you're the avatar. And are we surprised? No, because this isn't the first time that Ed has been caught cheating, been called out for it, and then acted like a fool. Edward, do us all a favor, look in the mirror. That ship has sailed with Rose. I don't even know why you tried to slide in her DMs. She's already moved on with a successful real estate broker from Australia named Greg, who actually wants to be her son's stepdad. He has pure intentions in this relationship. You used her for sex, and then she was out of your life forever. You blew it. But the cruelest part, hands down, about Ed messaging other women, one of which being his ex, is that it makes Liz feel like she's not good enough.
You deserve that ass chewing. I'm serious. She was inappropriate. But you,
as Ed's thinking of something to justify how he acted, from the looks of it, he's thinking really hard.
Yeah, but someone who cares so much about my safety didn't care, and I'm the one who was
Liz,
calm.
you brought that on yourself.
Also, I'm here for you.
No, you're not.
Ew, dude. It is so foul that he's trying to convince this girl that what she just experienced is her fault.
You're
Kelly
not
asked
here.
one question.
You're never here from me.
You cut him off so
Liz,
fast.
you were never here from me.
You sat there and complained.
No.
Hey, Liz is speaking facts here, and Ed is once again talking over her, repeating the same wrong sentences over and over again, which is super annoying. This right here is a prime example of how this little freak argues. He says something that he can't actually back up with facts and just keeps repeating that same point. Also, Ed's pulling an Angela showing us his nipples. Zoom in on that. Here, Ed, you can screenshot that for when you start your OnlyFans that no one subscribes to. One day, Ed, for the sake of your life, I hope you learn that respect is more valuable than fame because fame comes and goes. This is the one person that has had your back despite your many flaws.
Everybody called me a cheater today, but then you confessed to cheating, and I literally had to sit there.
In a game, not in a relationship.
It's not a game.
It was a game. It was a little...
Ooh, I love how he's trying to minimize it by saying it was just a little game. You're at a couples retreat, you donut. The whole purpose of the game was to see how y'all communicate and give the therapists that are there to help you a good read on your communication as a whole. You haven't taken anything seriously since you showed up to this resort in Florida because you're too busy trying to be the class clown. Ed says to Liz, you got your ass served to you. That had nothing to do with me. That was you. While Ed says this, he has a big dumb grin on his face, which is super antagonizing. He's trying to bait Liz to make her lose her cool and freak out on him, but she doesn't. She instead chooses to get ready for bed, remove herself from the situation, walk away from this creature because it's a waste of time to argue with the moron. The last season Liz and Ed were on, she told the audience at the end that she's never gonna get back together with Ed. Fast forward, she gets back together with him. We just saw on Instagram that she's married to Ed. So it's almost like you made your bed, now you have to lie in it. However, this scene that just happened when Angela got in her face like this and then she goes in the hotel room and Ed gaslights her and makes her feel like it's all her fault. This is the first time that I felt bad for Liz in a long time because no one deserves this. On a funny note, when Ed puts on a robe, he looks like the matchmaker from Mulan. He says, I know she's mad because in a way she kind of got her ass served to her, which I feel good about, but then I feel bad because that's the woman I love. Whoa, what an embarrassing take from this little weirdo. Why do you feel good about your fiance having her ass handed to her? That's the woman that you're supposed to be planning on spending the rest of your life with. You claim that you love her. If that's how you show love, bro, you don't know what love is. The way Ed reacted to Kelly damaging his fragile ego versus how he acted when his woman was almost beat up by Angela is such a huge difference. If anything, it just shows that you were scared to stand up to Angela because you're a weak little suck, which isn't news. Ed's always been a coward. Remember that iconic scene when Ed and Rose went to see the monkeys and he hid behind Rose because he was scared of the monkeys? Ed then says to the audience, the next 2 weeks will determine the rest of my life. Like, me and Liz need to be broken down to our foundation in order to build us back up. The wildest part about him saying this, hands down, is that as he's saying this, we get a look at Liz making her bed on the couch. Imagine that. She gets almost beat up by Angela Deem. Her man doesn't defend her. Then they walk inside of her hotel room and he makes her feel like what she just experienced was all her fault because he doesn't want to take accountability or face himself. And now he's making her sleep on the couch. At what point is enough enough? There's a lot of guys out there that would treat you good and also tear that ass up. So put that in the memory bank. I know that you and Ed are married right now, but who knows how long that's gonna last, right? What about Ed talking about their foundation? Bro, you stalked her at work. Ed actually showed up to her job for about 2 months straight, asking her to go on the show with him, practically begging her, and she finally said yes and did it. Let's go back to our foundation of using each other to go on reality TV, yay! The next morning, Ed and Liz sober up and once again try to squash the beef.
So what happened last night?
You tell me. Let's start with you finding it appropriate to get naked.
Oh, that was being silly.
Oh, get a load of this guy. Has an excuse for everything. I was just being silly. Well, I'm sure you wouldn't appreciate it if Liz was being silly and got naked in front of everyone in the hot tub. You would 1000% chew her out for that and call her a whore because you're a little incel. And let's take it one step higher. You would probably use that as an excuse to cheat on her.
It's not silly.
That had nothing to do with what happened.
No. Let's
I'm
start
talking
from
about what
the
happened with you and
Let's
Angela.
start from the beginning. I act like that? I can't act like that. Didn't we just have a... We're gonna start from the beginning.
Flashing someone without their consent is wildly inappropriate, not to mention you did so in front of your fiance, who's the only person that should see you naked.
I want to talk about how Angela
We're gonna
defended
talk
me,
about...
and you got called out for not supporting your fiance.
Look at this little thing lie. That's not what happened, but it's okay, Edward. You can keep repeating the same sentence because we have the footage. We know what happened. You didn't protect your fiance from harm.
That's kind of funny because I didn't say to Angela. I said nothing. You two are so hard to talk over. For her to call me a bitch and I didn't say or do anything, and you standing there like a little bitch, she needs to stay in her own relationship.
Yas and slay, Liz. Everything that she's saying right now is right on the money. Calling someone out for cheating is not a bitch move, but not protecting your woman is. After watching this, I'm genuinely surprised that Liz hasn't called off the engagement. Why promise to spend the rest of your life with someone that doesn't even have your back? Liz, for the 1000th time, brings up to Ed that he never lets her speak and constantly talks over her, and he keeps doing it, so she walks away, and Ed's saying, run away, Liz, run away, sure, run away. He's so immature about the situation. Running away from him is actually a really good idea. The problem is that Liz at some point always comes back. She's like a boomerang that Ed throws and keeps coming back. You need to actually run away, block his number, go back to San Diego, get your old job, and rebuild your life, because it's never gonna end well with this dude, because in his mind, you're always gonna be number 2, number 3, number 4. You're never gonna be number 1. Number 1 is Rosemary Vega, and you can tell by how after all these years, he's still doing the most to get in contact with this girl. Elizabeth, look at me, thinking caps on. You think that 2 weeks of couples therapy with a bunch of other shitters at a luxury resort in Florida is gonna fix your problems? No. It's not, because the minute you leave the resort, you're back to your shitty relationship with Ed. And if that's in Arkansas, well, he has his support system. What about your support system? What about all the friends you're leaving behind in San Diego that you've alienated for this relationship? Not worth. Liz is feeling uber overwhelmed right now, so she channels her inner Forrest Gump and runs outside to call her mom. After Liz talks with her mom for a bit, she's starting to feel more confident, so she walks back in the hotel room to set up some healthy boundaries with Ed. Right when Liz walks in, she tells Ed that she's not going to participate in the next group therapy session unless he listens to her and actually improves his listening skills, because he's really good at talking but not good at listening.
I'm sorry, you and Angela, always about you two. You two always speak. You never let anyone else talk. I have nothing against Angela, but I didn't deserve how she treated me. You're all...
But Kelly came
I'm
at me.
not done talking.
But Kelly came at me. It's all about me, Liz. Why are you talking about yourself, how you feel, when you know that in this relationship it's all about me?
Kelly came at me.
I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Guys, you can't make it up. Everything she says, it's in one ear and out the other. But Kelly came at me. I'm the victim. Dude, no one's fucking talking about that except for you. No one cares. You're not the victim. You can try to repeat the same sentence over and over again about how you were in the right. You weren't in the right, and everybody knows it. But instead of just listening to how his fiance feels, he's too busy trying to reassure her that he's in the right and he's so awesome and everything he does is good. It's not.
You hurt my feelings yesterday, too, during group therapy.
When?
When you cheated.
Okay, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings for that, but it's not, this wasn't like a life-saving game. It was a game.
Let's minimize cheating in the game again because you're a kid. The whole point was to work on your communication and show your partner that you care about her. Now, you're here for the right reasons to repair and fix your relationship, evolve, level up. You didn't do that because you were too busy trying to win at all costs because you've never wanted anything in your life. Fighting with that or trying to get anywhere is so counterproductive because it's either his way or the highway. And when you look like an egg, you should just be happy a real life girl wants to fuck you.
You drown me emotionally. You don't ever let me speak. I'm shocked that I even got words out right now with you. And it's all because I had to tell you to shut up to let me speak.
You can tell from the look in Liz's face, she's actually surprised that he hasn't cut her off yet. Something that surprised me was before I sat down to make this video, I looked up Liz's age. Did y'all know that she's 31 years old? You look way older, Liz. And this man is aging you at a rapid pace because you're stressed. He's gaslighting you. He's manipulating you. And it's causing you to look way older than you were. When you first appeared on the show, you were so full of life. There was color in your cheeks. You looked way better than you look now.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. That wasn't my intention. And I didn't listen to you. And we don't communicate.
Funny enough, this is something that Ed has done in every single past season with Liz. He'll identify the issues, but he won't actually put in the work to change himself and fix the issues so that she has a more mad, luxurious experience in this relationship. I know, not very cash money of him. We're gonna talk about it in the next video because a new episode is coming out. Check out our merch if you got some spare change. If you want some one-on-one time with me, please order a Cameo. I'm the #1 Cameo creator in the entire world. Super thankful y'all watch my content. Comment below, subscribe. Love you, friend. Follow me on Twitch and on Instagram right now.